New Year's Eve is coming soon. So many people have been wondering where to celebrate it since October. We offer to move away from banal schemes and spend this holiday on the planets of the solar system. We guarantee that you will not forget this event until your death. And in addition, you will simply blow up Instagram beforehand. By the way, it is not excluded that already in this century, the chosen ones will spend the new year on the red planet. Make yourself comfortable. We take off. Let's remember that some people love to celebrate Christmas and New Year, for example, in Bali or Ceylon, where the only attribute of the momentous event can be swim trunks with fur down and a characteristic red cap. But on Mercury, you will be hot even in this meager attire, as the temperature on its surface is about plus 430 degrees Celsius. Even if you're in a super mega tight spacesuit, you'll only be able to drink traditional champagne through the internal water system. This sunny tropical resort receives 6 times more heat than the Earth, so you won't be able to take a sip of bubbly from a crystal glass while lying in the surf, because the oceans have long since boiled away and the crystal will melt before you can fill the container. Therefore, the new year on Mercury will be quite original, an Earth guest jumping high with joy, because the weight of an average man will be 25 kilograms due to 3 times less gravity. Will sip through a tube, embedded in a spacesuit, a heady, carbonated liquid, turning his watery eyes to the sun, which looks 2.5 times bigger on the Mercurian horizon than on Earth. But there is a more tonic option. It is the night side of the planet. On it, the temperature is 170 degrees Celsius, which quite unambiguously reminds the main attribute of the new year, the presence of frost. But the year on Mercury is 59 Earth days, so the favorite holiday can be celebrated much more often, which is a definite plus. We move to Venus, but confidently fly past the cloudy neighbor, because sulfur rains are not included in the mandatory program of celebrations, and Santa's cap, worn over a spacesuit, will not save from them, and the monstrous pressure will destroy even a steel bottle of champagne. As for Mars, here the prospect of at least seeing snow, the main expected New Year's surprise, is quite real. So safely bring an artificial Christmas tree, heavier toys, because the gravity of the red planet is much weaker, and uncork the champagne. The only point is that the atmospheric pressure is 160 times less than Earth's, so it is not known how the liquid in the bottle will behave. But the new year will have to wait almost twice as long, because the year on Mars lasts 687 days. In the titanic oceans of Jupiter and Saturn, you can celebrate the new year in a very original way, but the attributes of the holiday there will be a minimum amount. There is no snow. There is no place to place a Christmas tree, because there is no solid surface, and titanic Jupiterian hurricanes blowing at a speed of at least 150 meters per second, without a trace will scatter the miserable remnants of confetti, but will give unprecedented inertia to the sleigh of Santa Claus. Diamond rings on the gloomy sky of Saturn will successfully replace the Christmas star. Well, and the hellish cold of about minus 130 degrees Celsius on both planets traveler is provided, which is quite consistent with the New Year mood. True, the New Year on Jupiter and Saturn will have to wait a very long time, 12 and 29.5 years respectively. But that's a trifle compared to Uranus, which lies on its side, where you have to wait 84 years for a magical New Year's Eve, and even longer on Neptune, 165 years. Since Uranus has no internal heat sources, the night before Christmas promises to be especially frosty, with the thermometer reaching unrealistic temperatures of minus 210 degrees Celsius. Hydrogen-helium, dead Neptune will please New Year's storms, flying at a speed of up to 700 meters per second, so you have to give up the streamers, tinsel, and the Christmas tree itself. They are not destined to resist, as well as the traveler himself. But rapidly flying over the planet, you can have time to proclaim a toast, having previously made a wish. The most long-term prospect to wait for the new year on Pluto, which, by the way, the channel Hubble, together with some American states, continues to consider a planet, because the year on a small celestial body at the back of the 2880 solar system lasts about 248 years, which is much longer than a human life, so the chance to chew ice at a temperature of minus 235 degrees Celsius block of champagne there is reduced to almost zero, and the liquid will become harder than a diamond, which will not make it more attractive and will not contribute to digestion. You want to celebrate the New Year unconventionally? Buying a tour to Bangkok or Rovaniemi? We can only sympathize with you. We offer a program on a larger scale. Join us. All links on the screen and in the description.